Hi, my name is Natalie Leviner, and at this point in life, I bet everyone's pretty much met someone where you've had a sense of fight or flight, or you just met someone where instantly you meet them and you're like, oh, I really hit it off with this person. They seem like a great individual. There's plenty of times where that's happened in someone's life because you're always meeting new people. So for me, I've always been someone who has always tried to see the best in people. I've always looked for kindness in others. Instantly, if someone comes off as nice towards me, I'll be like, oh, this is a great person. Like, it's someone I might want to keep around. But in reality, that sometimes has been a big downfall for me because I have put trust into people too easily. And so today, I'm going to kind of give an example of that. And I will do that by talking about the fable that I decided to go with, and that was The Fox and the Crow. And then I'm also going to show how that correlates to a real life experience that I have also experienced. So, the fable that I did pick, The Fox and the Crow, I pulled it from Aesop's Fable, the website. And pretty much this fable digs into how there's a fox and it sees that a crow has found a piece of cheese and it's been holding the cheese in its beak. And the fox is like, oh, this is something that I want. So, what the fox decides to do is it goes up to the crow and it's like showering it in compliments, trying to flatter its way into talking to the crow, talking about how beautiful the crow is, and eventually talks about, oh, well, I bet you have such a great singing voice, so why don't you sing for me? And the crow, falling into this flattery like super easily, decides, okay, this seems like it could be a friend, decides to sing for the fox and drops the piece of cheese. And as soon as it does, the fox goes in and takes the cheese from the crow. So, thinking of it in another manner, the fox, they are animals that come off as manipulative compared to a crow. Thinking of like, I would say like a crow being scared of what's the name of it? Like in the fields, they'll see something that looks like a human and they'll instantly get scared of it, thinking of like, oh yeah, that's a human. Like they're very naive. That's pretty much how it is in this situation because the crow's like, oh, this like fox seems so nice. Like it's showering me in compliments. So why don't I like kind of give into it? And instantly, that's the downfall of the crow. Now I'm going to kind of dig into a personal experience of mine that correlates with this fable. So I want to say around last year, I met someone, same major, someone I had met previously, like in high school, hadn't seen her in forever. And so, me just being nice, because that's just how I typically am, I went like up to her one day and was kind of like, hey, I remember you from high school. Like, I remember you, like, we're pretty nice when I met you the first time around. And so, instantly, because we also had like the same kind of major like things that we liked, we hit it off like pretty well. Like I introduced her to all of my friends. We would talk on like daily basis. And typically when you're like becoming friends with someone, they'll give you like nicknames, they'll give you a whole bunch of compliments, everything like that. That's how it was with this girl. And I didn't think much of it. I was like, she's really sweet. Like, what should I be afraid of? Pretty much. And for me, that is where I kind of had a downfall once again. So, pretty much, there had been a few things that happened within our friend group with her, but for me, I'm kind of just like, okay, just talk it out. It's okay. Just move forward. And eventually, there was one day where our friend group was supposed to get together, but I was sick that day. I wasn't able to. And I called them for a little bit, talked to them, and then I went to go rest. And didn't think much of it for the rest of the day. Went to campus the next day, and clearly there was kind of something off between me and the friends that were at that gathering the day before. I didn't want to think much into it. I was like, maybe they're just tired. Maybe like they had a long night. You never know. So I kind of just moved on about my day. And I want to say maybe like an hour or so later, someone that I wasn't even close with came up to me and pretty much told me that this girl that I had put a lot of trust in had went to that gathering when she saw I wasn't going to be there and pretty much told some personal information that I had shared with her. Um, and she told a few people that I was friends with, and then somebody I had no clue who she was. I had never met her before. So for me, it instantly kind of just felt like a stab in the back because I was like, I trusted this girl with some like information, and she went and told people. And then I also found out that she was trying to turn it and make it seem like I was a bad person because of it. So after kind of talking to everyone that was there the night before, it was pretty much all the same things. All their stories were that she went up to them and told them about this information. It was trying to make me seem like I was a bad person because of it. And how this kind of correlates with the fable from before is in that situation, I would have been the crow. I was the one who was kind of naive to quickly trusting someone. And this girl ended up being the fox because it turns out that in the end, she saw that I had like a good group of friends that I always was like super close with, always hanging around. And she kind of wanted that for herself. So she was trying to turn the situation around and make it seem like I was, I guess, the villain in it. But in the end, it kind of just showed me what her true colors like actually were. Of course, I was hurt, but it kind of showed me that in the end, you really do need to be kind of cautious of who you are talking to, who you think you're going to become friends with. You need to take longer to actually talk to someone and gain that trust with them because in the end, you might end up getting hurt. You might end up getting betrayed. And that's something I would not want on anyone. Like, it's not a good feeling. I felt it a few times in my life. And so now it's just kind of like, please just be cautious of who you talk to because you never know when they will actually betray you. So, thank you.